In this tutorial, I'll teach you how to use automated bidding controls in Google AdWords to ensure a client's ads are visible in the position we want during high volume hours of the day. We'll keep our cost per click at the lowest amount required to secure our ads' best positions over the competition. When running ads in Google AdWords, it's important to always remember that Google is a for-profit company and ad clicks are their source of revenue. If cost per clicks go up, Google is happy because they earn more money. Every business wants to earn the most money it can, so it's important to acknowledge that this is the same for Google, just as it's the same for your business and your client's business. In this tutorial, I'll teach you how to wisely make the most of Google's fair auction process rather than agreeing to pay Google's recommended bid to achieve the same desired ad position. In our tutorial scenario, we have a new client who has left their prior PPC marketing agency after feeling unsatisfied and is hoping for better service and results from us. They are an online costume retailer who's hoping they can make a lot of money this autumn when people are shopping for their Halloween costumes, if we can consistently secure them their top performing positions for conversions. We just happen to know those are positions 2 and 3. Competition is fierce in the fall as Halloween approaches, and we've noticed from a few test queries, just checking up on our client in the SERPs, that their ads aren't consistently showing up at the top of the page. It's time for us to make a report, analyze it, and learn what positions our clients' ads have actually been showing up in. Let's get started. We're going to pull a report of the ad position for a hot selling seasonal campaign for all hours of each day in the full month. In Google AdWords, set your date range to 1 month. We want to see how its ads have been positioned to see if there are days and times where our ad's position falls out of the optimal range, and we always want our ads during this season to be in the optimal range. To do that, we select the campaign and then we go to the Dimensions tab. On the Dimensions tab, select View, select Time, and then Hour of Day. Then click Download the report. Add a segment. The segment will be Time, and then select Day from the secondary drop-down. Create the report. Now that we have the report open in Excel, let's rename the worksheet by the date range, and then let's delete that top row for cleanliness' sake. So this will say September 9th to October 8th, 2013, and we'll delete this top row. Now let's select all, and we're going to make a pivot table. So we'll go to the Data tab and then to Pivot Table. And if anything's in one of these 4 quadrants when you first open up the Pivot Table Builder, just check it off to the side so we can build a nice pivot table from scratch. In the column labels, drag Day. In the row labels, drag Hour of Day. And then for values, we're going to scroll all the way down until we find average position. Drag that into values. Notice how it shows up all of these ones here. It's because it's showing you the count, the individual count, so they're all ones. We don't want that. We want to show the sum. So scroll up on the list and choose Sum, and click OK, and there we go. It's populating the right data now. It's showing us what our position is at the hour of day on each day of the month. So close the Pivot Table Builder. And now I wanted to point out that Excel does this wonky thing where it creates a pivot table to the left of whatever the prior worksheet that you were on. I think that's so weird. I always drag it to the right so that there's some kind of logical flow, some kind of chronology to the workflow within this Excel file, so that if somebody else opens it up at a later date and it's not you, they can see and read from left to right and kind of understand the process you went through. So let's rename this pivot table worksheet to pivot hourly position. And now we want to preserve the pivot table. So let's select all of the data points and let's copy them and paste them to a new worksheet. And let's rename this new worksheet Hourly Position Analysis. There. So rename the row labels time of day. And now we want to change this military time, like all these times here in the first column. We want to change these to normal times of day that just anybody can understand. So let's label this 12 o'clock a.m. And then let's do this one at 1 o'clock a.m. And then we can select these two cells, and at this point Excel has enough information about the trend of what you're plugging in here to auto format the remaining cells in the column. So there we go. And now we're going to do this thing that's kind of monotonous. We're going to apply conditional formatting to each column individually. And we're going to do that so that we can see if there's any kind of trend between our data day after day, like a consistency in position of our ad at a certain time of day, running through the entire course of this 30-day period. So we're going to do it from red to green. So I'll select every cell in this row, or in this column rather, and I'll apply color scales, conditional formatting, red to green. And I'm doing it that way because positions that are higher on the page I want colored green, and positions that are lower on the page I want positioned or colored red. So a higher number like 5.9 is a lower position on the page, and that's bad. We want high positions on the page. So I'm going to just do this now for all of the days of the month. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do this all, and we'll fast forward through it and jump to the next step. Ta-da! Okay, I did all that work. You didn't have to watch me do it. You're welcome. Well, what's crazy about this report is overall there's absolutely no trend. No wonder my client was unhappy with the results of their previous PPC agency. There's absolutely no trend to the position that they're running in at different days and times over the course of 30 days. I just, we're going to fix this. Like, I can't speak as to what the other PPC agency was doing, but not enough. All right. Well, maybe they just didn't know enough or didn't spend enough time to properly manage this account. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back into Google AdWords because we need to get our client's position better than position 4 as soon as possible, because we want to sell a shit ton of our clients' products this season. And we really want position 2 and 3 only because we've seen those are the highest converting positions for their campaign. So let's go back into AdWords and do our absolute best to force AdWords to only run ads for this campaign in position 2 and 3. Because we don't need any of this garbage like position 7.5. Oh, this is just awful. What a mess. Now that we're in AdWords, we want to choose a flexible bid strategy for the account that automatically adjusts our bid to gain our ideal position based on what the maximum we're willing to spend per click is, so that we can increase our clients' chances of their ads being in the ideal position with the most frequency. Go to the campaign and select its ad groups by ticking the boxes next to them. Then choose Bid Strategy from the drop-down and select Choose a Bid Strategy. Then select Create a Flexible Bid Strategy. Make target page location the bid strategy. Now name this flexible bid strategy Target 2-3 Position. When we get to the settings for location, here's where things get strategic, so pay close attention to the theory, the consequences, and the strategy I'm sharing here, so that you can set things up for your own campaigns wisely. Either we can set the location to the top of the first search results page, or we can set it to anywhere on the first results page. If we set the location to top of the first search results page, we're telling Google to bid for us a dollar amount that they suggest will put our ad to position 1 at the very top of the SERPs. But simply agreeing to pay their suggested price is like shopping for a new car and not knowing you can negotiate the price to a lower than what the MSRP sticker displayed on the car windshield says. We don't want to be foolish, and we don't want to ever overpay by agreeing to their suggested price, because there's the possibility that their suggested bid will be higher than what we'll actually need to spend in the fair auction to win the desired position. Besides, we don't want position 1. We want position 2 and position 3. It's better for us if we let the fair auction decide the price we pay to run our ads in the positions that we are targeting. On the other hand, if we set the location to anywhere on the first search results page, then Google AdWords is going to automatically adjust our bids so they ensure our clients' ads are on the first page every time. By choosing the Anywhere on the First Page search results page option, we tell AdWords that the fair auction will solely determine if our bid is going to get us into the position we want on the first page by comparing our bid to all of the current bids of our competitors, also bidding enough to be on the first page of the SERPs. However, we know we don't just want to be on the first page. We want our ad to run specifically in position 2 and 3. Well, if we choose the Anywhere on the First Search Results page, we have not secured position 2 or 3 for our ads. For all we know, since competition has been heating up this season, we could wind up with our ads running in the first page, but in some crappy position towards the bottom of the page, with a proven history of low conversions for our client. We just don't have that kind of time and client resources to discover a process, as we would need to slowly track the results every few days and nudge the bid a little bit every day until we are in the position that we want. Therefore, in this instance, we're going to choose the top of the first search results page option, but we'll apply some bidding rule constraints to it in the future chapter that'll give us the control we need to secure positions 2 and 3 while also avoiding to pay Google's suggested price. Alright, well, let's continue choosing options for the flexible bid strategy. Under Bid Automation, select Set Bids Myself. Don't select Automatically Adjust Bids so they're at least as high as the estimate of the first page bid. Again, we don't want to automatically raise and lower our bids to match the estimated first page bid because we want to keep control of what we spend, and we don't want Google to have the power to raise the max CPC limit on our keywords so that they can make even more money. For bid adjustment, let's decrease by 10%. Because we selected location top of the first search results page, now we're communicating to Google, hey, we want the top position, but we don't want to pay the full suggested price. Instead, we'll still just pay 1 cent more than the next highest competitor. And so we want to aim 10% lower than your suggested bid. Bidding 10% under the suggested bid is one more way we can help ourselves control what we spend rather than forking over anything Google suggests we should spend. Note, if we had gone the other way for location by choosing anywhere on the first search results page, then for this bid adjustment section, we would have selected increase by and either enter 5% or 10%. 5% is really conservative, and since all of our current ad positions are already on the first page, 5% should raise our position on that page significantly. However, we won't know exactly what position our ads would be in with that option until we ran for 2 or 3 days and analyzed our average position again. And that's why, since every day left this season before Halloween is absolutely crucial to our client sales, we didn't choose anywhere on the first search results page as our location option. Moving on, under max CPC limit, let's put $3 because we know that the average CPC for this campaign has been $1.50 historically, and this season we want to really sell a hell of a lot of this product. Besides, our margins on the product definitely support our cost per click at $3. Open the advanced options. We only want the ad to show in a high position, right? We don't want to ever show this ad in a low position. Having that high position for visibility is way more valuable to us because it has a proven track record that leads to conversions, as opposed to Google trying to make the most of a limited budget by trying to maximize our number of impressions running our ad consistently in lower positions. Lower positions aren't going to get us clicks, and we know that already because people don't click on low positions for this particular campaign. Therefore, for advanced options, set limited budget to raise bids even if my campaign is limited by budget. And we want this because we want to maintain a high position on the page always. For low quality keywords, select Don't Raise My Bid on keywords with a low quality score. And that's because each incremental bid has less of an impact on the keywords with low quality scores than it ever could on keywords with high quality scores. Keywords with high quality scores tend to have better ad positions and typically convert more. If you were to raise a low quality score for a keyword by just 10%, you might bump up an ad's position. But if you raise an already high quality score for a keyword by an additional 10%, you'll significantly bump that ad position. And that's much more efficient and a much better use of our time and our clients' funds. Now save the bid strategy, and it will be applied to the previously selected ad groups in the campaign. Now let's create 2 super slick automated bidding rules that will act as bookends, securing position 2 or 3 for our clients' ads. To set up an automated rule, we want to go into the Keywords tab and then select the campaign. Then click Automate, and then from the drop-down list, select Change Max CPC Bids When. From the Apply To drop-down, select All Enabled Keywords in this campaign. For Automated Action, choose Increase the Bid, and then enter 10%, and then re-enter our max bid as $3. For requirements, choose Performance, and then on the submenu, choose Average Position. From the drop-down, choose Worse Than, and then enter 4 for position 4. The way this is going to work is Google is going to make a determination of where our ad should be positioned, according to their fair auction. But before the auction is finished, we're telling Google that if the fair auction decides that our client's ads should be in position 4 or lower, then we want to add 10% to our bid. And that changes everything. We're assuming that 10% added to our bid would be enough to raise our client's ad position to above position 4 and into position 1, 2, or 3. We're also telling Google that while we do want to increase our bid by 10% to get our ads to show above position 4, we don't want to bid more than $3. So, if it's going to cost more than $3 to secure position 1, 2, or 3, don't show our ads. Again, as I mentioned in the previous chapter, we don't want our clients' ads to show in position 4 or lower because we know those positions have proven not to convert for this particular campaign. For frequency, choose daily, and I'm setting the time to 10 a.m. using data from, and I'm choosing previous day. And what this means is it's going to adjust my bid each day going forward based on the bidding and positioning of my ad on the previous day at 10 a.m. Sort of like artificial intelligence. Name the rule to plus 10% worse than position 4. Think of this as the first bookend securing position 2 and 3 for our ads. I recommend previewing the results by pressing the Preview Results button and then save the rule. That'll automatically apply it to the selected campaign. Now let's set up our second automated rule. Make sure we're in the Keywords tab again and with the campaign selected. Then click Automate, and from the drop-down list select Change Max CPC Bids When. From the Apply To drop-down, select All Enabled Keywords in this campaign. For automated action, choose Decrease the bid and enter 5%, and then again re-enter our max bid at $3. For requirements, choose Performance, and then on the submenu choose Average Position. From the drop-down choose Better Than, and then enter 2 for position 2. For frequency, choose Daily, and again, I'm setting the time to 10 a.m. and choosing data for decision making from the previous day. Name this rule to minus 5% better than position 2. This is the second bookend, securing position in 2 and 3 for our ads. And the way that this works is if Google looks at our ad in their fair auction and determines that we are going to be in position 1, it's going to say, wait a minute, before you make that decision, we want to subtract 5% from our bid. So that now we're expecting that subtracting 5% from our bid would put us into position 2 or 3 rather than position 1. Again, I recommend previewing the results by pressing the Preview Results button. Finally, save the rule to automatically apply it to the selected campaign. You should check the average position of the campaign over the next few days to see if it's trending to your intended target. You can do that as easily as selecting the average position to see that it drops in the graph down below 4. In conclusion, you've learned how to set up 3 automated bid controls that, when applied together, maximize the chances for your client's ads to run exactly in the positions you want. First, we have a bidding strategy that will raise our bids using a reasonable top-of-page estimate by aiming 10% less than Google's top-of-page suggestion. Second, we created a max CPC rule that behaves as one bookend, ensuring that our ads are always above position 4. Third, we created another bid rule that behaves as a second bookend, automatically decreasing the bid by 5% if the bid would put our ad in the position 1 range. The 2 bookend bid rules we created empower us to always target exactly position 2 and 3, which are the most efficient for our particular seasonal campaign. My name is Jason Stempel. If this tutorial improved your Google AdWords skills, please give it a +1, thumbs up, write a comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.